What's up, everybody? New countdown coming at you right now. Top 10 countdown. I did my top 10 best gimmick matches in wrestling. And now I'm going to do the worst. The top 10 worst gimmick matches in wrestling, in my opinion. If you got your own top 10 worst, tweet them to me on Twitter. I'll read it. Tweet me at WWE NXT Guy or comment under this video and tell me your top 10 worst gimmick matches that you've ever seen that you can think of. Here's mine. Number 10. It was kind of WCW, but it was still called the NWA. I believe Ted Turner already bought them by the Great American Bash 88. But still, it was Great American Bash 88. The gimmick match was, at the time it was innovative. And I was entertained by it. But it wasn't a good idea because the camera shots were bad. And it was they're fighting. What am I talking about? The match is called the Tower of Doom. There's 3 levels of a steel cage. They had a giant, like a 25-foot ladder that the wrestlers had to climb up. It wasn't easy to get up there. And then when they were fighting in the 3rd cage on the top, and then fighting in the 2nd cage, it was just bad camera work. Bad camera shots. There wasn't enough lighting. You could barely tell what was going on, barely. Anyways, it was a bad gimmick match. Number 10 is from the Great American Bash 88, Tower of Doom. Number 9 would be, now this might surprise some people, but number 9 worst gimmick match is the bra and panties match. I don't know when it debuted. I think in 99 or 2000. So bra and panties matches, it was just, looking back on it now, in the era of great women's wrestling we're living in, looking back on that now, that was just stupid. And that was just, I understand why they did it, because it was the Attitude Era, and it would probably get good ratings. But looking back on it, it was a bad idea, and it was stupid. It was objectifying women. It was stupid. It was stripping them of their clothes, like they had no other talent than to get half naked. Because they had a lot of talent. I'm talking about women like Lita, Trish, Ivory. They had to compete in bra and panty matches, and they had a lot of talent. They shouldn't have had to be competing in bra and panties matches. Number 9, worst gimmick match, bra and panties match. Now, if some of you think it should come back, it's not going to come back, and you're stupid. If you want bra and panties matches so bad, well, you shouldn't even watch wrestling. That's dumb. Just watch porn. If you want to see bra and panties matches, you don't need to see it in wrestling. You can just watch porn for free on the internet. There's like 50,000 free sites. So, number 8 is another WCW match. WCW making this countdown once again. And they will make it a couple times. So, number 8 worst gimmick match is, I enjoyed the match, but it was a stupid looking cage. It looked really weak. The cage looked weak, like it could break and just break apart and fall down, in my opinion. The first, it was called the Thunderdome Cage Match. Debuted at Halloween Havoc 89. It was a good match. I was entertained by it, but it was a stupid looking cage. And the cage even caught on fire. I don't know how the hell it caught on fire. There was like pyro going off, I guess, and it caught some of the cage on fire, like a cloth. or a rope or a cloth that was hanging from the cage. Anyways, a Great Muta was in the first Thunderdome cage match. He had to climb up real fast, and he blew his mist and put out the fire. That was pretty funny. But Thunderdome cage match was a bad gimmick match. They didn't use it that much. They used it at Halloween Havoc 89, then they used it at Capital Combat 90 WCW pay-per-view. Or Lex Luger and Ric Flair had a decent Thunderdome cage match, but it was still a stupid-looking cage. And then they used it in one of the worst gimmick matches, the Chamber of Horrors, which I don't think it's on this list of CountDown. The Chamber of Horrors did not make it. But that was one of the worst gimmick matches. And then after Chamber of Horrors at Halloween Havoc 91, they used it at Super Brawl 94, and when they had two Thunderdome cage matches, a 6-man tag, which was entertaining. On one side they had Sting, I think Dustin Rhodes, and Brian Pillman against Steve Austin, Rick Rude, and I think Paul Orndorff. That was a good 6-man tag Thunderdome. Then they had a world title match, Vader against Ric Flair in a Thunderdome cage. So that was the last time they used it, at Super Brawl 94. I still thought it was a stupid gimmick match, even though some of the Thunderdome cage matches were good. Chamber of Horrors was not good. In Capital Combat 90, it was not that good either. Because they had interference. The cage was supposed to stay down so no horseman could get in, and then the horseman got the cage raised, and they came in and jumped Luger. That was stupid. Why have a cage match if you're going to have the heels sneak in and interfere? That was pointless. Number 7, worst gimmick match, is from, again, WCW. From the Great American Bash 2000, it was called the Human Torch match. It was bad. It was pointless. I was kind of interested in it. At the time, I actually ordered the pay-per-view because I kind of wanted to see Sting Vampiro, because I was interested. What is this Human Torch match going to be? What's the outcome going to be? How were they going to book it? To set someone on fire. Anyway, Sting, they climbed up to the top of the Titantron, the screen, and then there was a fake Sting. It was a stunt man dressed as Sting, with Sting makeup on, and the stunt man he hooked himself up to a harness, and then he took a dive to the stage where there was a lot of padding. So he took a flip onto his back, and he was set on fire. And then he took his dive, and the fire went out because the guy was a stunt man. Obviously, the real Sting didn't want to do it and didn't have to do it and shouldn't have wanted to do that. Get set on fire and take a bump. Why the hell would he do that? So still, the Human Torch match was really bad. Bad gimmick match. It was 100 times worse than the Inferno match. Because at least in the Inferno match, it was safe. And the flames were controlled by someone pressing a button where the flames could be lowered and go up high. When the wrestlers would take a bump, the flames would shoot up high. Human Torch match was just a mess because the idea of the match was just no direction in it. Number 6 match I've never liked, gimmick match. Number 6 worst gimmick match, the Tuxedo match. You had two guys or two wrestlers or basically two managers or two announcers would fight each other, and it would be a god-awful match. And then they'd strip one another of their tuxedo. They did one at Great American Bash 89, Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette. I liked their feud, but I didn't like the tuxedo match because I don't want to see grown men stripped to their underwear, to their tighty-whities. I don't need to see that, and I hope I never see it again. So number 6 would be the tuxedo match. Bad gimmick match. I hope I never see it again. Number 5, again from WCW. And tuxedo match, I believe they did once in the WWF with Howard Finkel and Harvey Whippleman. I think a long time ago on a Monday Night Raw or something. So tuxedo match is done in both WWF and WCW. But this one, number 5, was done in WCW and it was god-awful. Bad gimmick match. It was called Caged Heat. I believe it's called Caged Heat from Great American Bash 2000. It was a stupid mini cage. It was lowered to the middle of the ring. It was a dumbass idea, stupid gimmick match at Great American Bash 2000, I believe. Rick Steiner was involved in it, I think, against Tank Abbott. Or maybe it was Scott Steiner against Tank Abbott. I don't remember, and I don't care. The match was bad. So WCW and NWA has really filled out this countdown, most of it. Number 4, again, WCW, bad gimmick match, one of the worst. Number 4 would be World War III. The 3-ring, 60-man battle royal. Stupid idea. Bad idea. They tried to have 3 split screens and 3 announced teams. It was a mess. The match was a mess. You couldn't even follow along until it got down to the last ring with like 20 guys in it, 10 guys in it. That's the only way you could follow it towards the end of the match. I like some of the winners of it. I was really happy Macho Man won in 95. I was happy the Giant won in 96, and the NWO helped him win. 97, Scott Hall won. In the final World War III, Kevin Nash won. So I like all the winners, but I hate the idea of the match where you have 3 rings. That was just, it was bad. You couldn't follow along. Number 3, again from WCW. I believe on an edition of Nitro in the year 2000. A graveyard match between Sting and Vampiro. It was a bad idea. It was a embarrassing match. It was pathetic. I hated it because it looked so damn cheesy and just really bad, like D- horror movie stuff, or B- horror movies. That's the look of it. The graveyard match looked worse than the House of Horrors, in my opinion. It was a worse match, and it was done worse also. And it was produced really bad. At least WWE's House of Horrors, at least their production was really good for it. And parts were cheesy, but the production and the lighting was still good. Better than what WCW's done. Number 2, again from WCW, fuck you, Vince Russo. I believe you came up with this gimmick match, Viagra on a pole. Oh my God, I wanted to kill the person in WCW that came up with Viagra on a pole match. I believe it was Vince Russo. Viagra on a pole. That's pathetic and embarrassing. I was embarrassed to hear that it was a match in WCW. That's why I stopped watching Nitro in 2000, because of stupid gimmick matches like Viagra on a pole. Fuck you, Vince Russo. You're an idiot. And that is, maybe that happened in 99, but I think it was 2000 on Nitro. Or maybe it's, I don't think it was on pay-per-view, but for coming up with that match, you should get a major beat down from a lot of wrestling fans. Or you should apologize. Whoever came up with Viagra on a pole, you should get on the internet and apologize to every fan for coming up with that garbage. Number 1, worst gimmick match I've ever seen. It was so bad, it was damn funny. And it's still funny. If I watch it today, I will still laugh. I don't have any hatred towards the match. It was just a mess. And it was so bad that it became really funny. It was really funny. Number 1's from the WWF. Kennel from Hell. the Kennel from Hell match at Unforgiven 99. Kennel from Hell. You're asking yourself, if you've never seen it, at Unforgiven 99, what's a Kennel from Hell? Well, it was a Hell in a Cell. They dropped the Hell in a Cell, and then the ring had the old school blue steel cage up with the square bars, that stiff steel cage, the big blue cage that they used in the 80s and part of the 90s, or part of the early 90s. So it was a Hell in a Cell lowered in a steel cage in the ring. It was a mess. It was Al Snow and the Big Boss Man. These guys aren't to blame for the match. Who's to blame for the match is whoever came up with it and booked it and decided to put it on pay-per-view. It was a bad idea. A really bad idea. But the match was just so bad, nothing went right, that it's just, now it's funny. It's really funny to me now. But at the time, when I was watching it, I busted out laughing. Especially when they had Rottweilers, dogs come in, like 3 dogs with, I guess, trainers. They came in the Hell in the Cell cage. They walked around the cage so Al Snow and Boss Man couldn't escape, I guess. That was the idea, that they couldn't jump down to the mat because the dogs were there. And these dogs were not vicious. They were not scary. They were not attack dogs. So Al Snow jumps down onto the mat, and then he escapes the Hell in the Cell, and he wins the match. And then when the dogs got in the Hell in the Cell, one of them actually started urinating. They urinated all over the mat. I busted out laughing. I thought that was funny. And JR and the King doing commentary, they couldn't even hold it in. They started laughing and talking about how the dogs did his business on the ring mat, or on the outside of the ring mat. So that was damn funny. Number 1 worst gimmick match, Kennel from Hell at Unforgiven 99. If you want a really good laugh, watch that match back on the network. It's damn funny. I might even watch it tonight, just so I could laugh again. So there it is. Hope you enjoyed this new Countdown Top 10 Worst Gimmick Matches in Wrestling. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a great Sunday. Have a great Memorial Day. Have a great weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you don't have work on Monday. Bye for now.